Okay, everyone. So, welcome to the channel, and we're going to talk about Tremec break-in. We're going to talk about just the mannerism of the transmission, the gears, etc. So we went through. We got to our 250 mile mark. Pretty uneventful, smooth shifting. Now, mind you, we're shifting 3,000 RPM or less, just normal driving. We have gotten to our 500 mile break-in. In fact, we're over by about 20 miles. So we haven't changed the fluid yet, but we did get a roll on second gear after that 500 mile mark and shifted at 6,000 RPM. Second to third, and I chirped the tires, which is impressive because I haven't done that since my stock MT82 with 410 gears. So mind you, having these taller gears, sticky tires, that suggest I'm making some power. So the transmission is a 2.97 first gear. The ratios as they progress, second, third, I think third, fourth, and fifth get taller, obviously. It's a driver's car. This transmission turned this car into a Sunday cruiser. It is not your spirited MT82 geared or Caliber geared car as I'm saying. There, I can say the difference between the two would be a real cocky roadster being the MT82, and then a more docile type hen, if you will. Maybe it's a bad example, but just saying. So when I say it's a driver's car, it's kind of like it's turned it into a nice cruising car. So if you are a driver, meaning that you like to cruise and drive and you're not pounding on the car, this is a great transmission. I'm not saying it's a bad transmission. Just the way the gears are, I'm used to something a little more peppy, just the gears getting power band. However, I'm going to say that I still have learnings because I haven't experimented much on this. I still have some learnings, and there's number one learning is this car, you cannot dump it in the second gear at 40 miles an hour. It doesn't like that. You can get it down in second gear at about 30, maybe 35, but it doesn't like it. I've done it a couple times. The first time, it didn't want to go, so I didn't force it. You could feel it. And the other time, I was able to get it in. Went in a little hard, but I don't think the transmission likes that. So there are some different run rules or different mannerisms with this transmission. It is different than the MT82, as we all know. So the other thing is it does pull extremely hard on third gear, and I didn't roll out fourth gear much because you get going so fast because it's such a tall gear. But the pull isn't bad. Getting, like I said, shifting at 6,000 RPM and chirping the tires, going to third, suggest my power loss. I don't know this. When we did our last dyno, we lost over 43 horsepower when the Caliber transmission was in there. It's suggesting I might have that back. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. So again, it's a completely different mannerism of a transmission. I think if you want to get up there, now my rear gear, just for the record, is 373. It still doesn't feel bad though. It doesn't feel bad, and I'm impressed with how hard the car still pulls and what it feels like with those tall gears. Now for me, right now, I'm gonna keep them there because I'm gonna add more power with the heads and cams, and I'm gonna see where that's at. But let's go back to the Triax shifter now. I don't know if that was a mistake or not. I like the fact that you won't miss a gear with this Triax. It notches in the gear. You know you're there. The only one thing I observed is NVH, and I got a lot of it. It rattles. Not happy about that. However, we've reached our goal of being a quiet transmission down low. Now, anything above 2,500, as you increase your RPM with this shifter, it has a tendency to make that rattle, and it gets louder. It's not the, I think other guys experience the reverse lockout mechanism or something, maybe making that rattle. This car doesn't have that. It has a solenoid powered, a 12-volt solenoid that keeps you from going into reversal. There's no pull up on your stick shift. So what we experienced is, again, this rattle. It gets progressively louder as your RPMs climb. I reached out to Steeda. I'm waiting for their feedback. I talked to the installer, and I looked at my parts box, and I found out that there's a gasket, and it goes on the side of the shifter when it bolts to the base of the shifter. There is like a insulating type gasket that wasn't on, so I went ahead and installed that last night. I was looking to put a film of silicone, which is suggested by Steeda, on the base. Now that didn't get done either, which would help. So the other thing is the way this shifter sits and transmission sits in the boss is extremely far to the left. And you really cannot pull it from the top side. You can get the 2 bolts on the right, the other 2 bolts on the left are you might be able to pull it from the bottom, or get the bolt out from the bottom, because I was looking to put some silicone on there, so I'm not able to get there. I did get the gasket on. I'll show you a couple pics of that, and went out and test drove again, and it helped significantly. It moved to where we got quietness, and then up to 5,000 RPM. So then it starts making that noise. And, right now I'm okay with that, because I don't live up in that zone anyways. So when I'm going to be powering on it hard, it's going to be few and far between. My main concern is that just driving and the quietness, and we've achieved that. It's a great transmission for that. I'm excited to learn more how this transmission behaves, but I'm going to tell you for now, guys, I'm not going to beat on this thing. I'm going to let it break in. I'm going to run it some more. I want to be sure everything is fully seated before I get on this thing. So on the upside, I'm going to go ahead and schedule a dyno. Probably it's going to be a month and a half out. We're going to end up seeing where we're at. Now we do still need to get the transmission gears plugged in, and that's to get our cruise control working. Right now we're running right smack on with that Bowler speedometer converter or whatever. We're running spot on to mile an hour, so everything is good. We got no codes on the car, which is excellent. So yeah, so far everything is going good. And then that's my update. We'll keep you guys informed, and then I'll give you a driving video at the 2500. I don't have one at the 500, but we can do that later on as we progress. But I just want to touch base with you guys and let you know what's going on with the car. And yeah, things are going good. We're moving forward. Now I got to come up with some cheese to get this converted over to the heads and cams. So my original plan didn't quite work out. My old MT82 Stage 3 that I sold, I refunded the guy's money back. Now it's arriving to Calamers today. And what happened was it's making the same noise it made for me. So I had a bad cracked clutch. And not only had a bad cracked clutch, there's something going on with the transmission. And right now Calamers kind of scratching their head saying, you don't make enough power to hurt your transmission. Well, something went wrong, and we need to get it fixed. So it'll be very interesting to find out what's going on with that transmission, because I need to get it fixed before I'm able to sell it again. So that's where we're at. and that money was going to be used basically for getting the heads and cams installed. So guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll keep you guys informed, as I said. So y'all have a great day. Thanks, and take care.